fastest rising cryptocurrencies out there, along with Richard Hart, who is a very enigmatic figure online, founder of Hex. Richard joins us today to talk about this coin and his upcoming projects. Welcome to the show, Richard.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
You've got a big following online, and you've got a lot of people who support you, a lot of deniers of the project. We're going to be addressing both of these. You've been called many different things, from depending on who you talk to. You've been called genius, innovative.
All right. Oh, you know, I should do a little sound test first, but
To those of you following the crypto markets, especially the altcoin markets, you may be familiar with Hex, one of
all right. We should. No one's complaining about it, so I'm sure they hear you fine. So, bro, what's kind of can you maybe say
blue?
Yeah.
I just went on your channel and I'm blue.
Yeah,
When
bro.
were
It
you gonna
looks
tell me I was blue, bro?
it looks
Here, now I'm not blue anymore.
I liked you better when you were blue, bro.
It's a good thing I'm checking your production quality, man. Like, you were gonna let me do this interview as a Smurf? WTF, bro?
Bro, listen, dude,
My
Smurfs.
God.
Dude, the Smurfs are like super alpha, bro. Like, if we could learn a lot from Smurfs and their hierarchy and the way they've done things. We should go back to Smurfs. But forgive me, bro. I'm raw here. We don't Photoshop. It is what it is. It is what it is. What you see.
I mean, I should be not blue anymore, right? Yeah, okay.
You are not blue anymore.
My God.
You look good though. You look good. You've been on vacation or anything? You've been you've been traveling a lot, dude. You've been traveling a lot. You've been doing a lot of like. I was trying to reach out to you for our third part 3 interview for a while. I think the last few months of last year, but you were doing like what I think is like a marketing push to people that don't know who you, Hex, Pulse are. And I think you did a really good job at that. You did a lot of interviews with a lot of different people and stuff. And it seems like you probably kind of chilled, right? I mean,
so like, how do I say all this? First of all, I think it's funny that no one can just have a conversation with me. It's always like versus.
Are you serious?
It's like the title, bro. Look at the title of your video.
Yeah, but dude, that's what you tell me. Everybody who else does that, bro?
It's like I know. It's like why? I'm just
bro. Normally you're debating people, though, dude. Normally you're debating people.
I guess, yeah. It's like when I go to order food at the restaurant, it's like me versus the waitress, you know?
Well, that's what makes it fun, dude. I was gonna do the thumbnail with my head on the chick.
I thought that thumbnail was awesome.
I know. I was
use that thumbnail more.
I just used it the other day for you saw it?
FTX something. Some event. You were like showing up to some IRL conference or something, some Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, I'm closing for Michael Saylor at Bitcoin Miami. I put my face on. I put a little Pulse logo on there too. So
I love it. I love it, man. So the traveling, like a Hexican in LA, he set up like he knows these dudes that make like documentaries and they get awards and stuff. And he's like, you got to do a documentary about Richard and Hex. And they're like, what? Who? And then they like learn about Hex and they love it and they just want to make the thing. And so I wouldn't have like traveled at all, except these guys needed me to meet them. Nice. Yeah. Healthy. Very healthy. I just had COVID like a few days ago. So
is it spiking wherever you're at?
I don't know.
What kind of towel is that?
To know. This is I think this is an Amazon Basics towel. Pretty sure.
It looks nice.
Amazon Basics are very affordable.
No.
I mean, I've got a lot of other expensive towels.
Yeah, we don't even start hanging us. Yeah, what kind of
let me get you an expensive towel,
go grab that. Go grab it. Maybe it's got some skid marks on it or something. Oh, well, look at that pillow. That's a cool pillow. I've never seen that. He should have more of that stuff in his background. Yeah, we all have that robe. Yeah, I got that robe too, bro. I got that robe too. Okay, let's see the towel. I don't have a towel. Okay, a little Louis Vuitton towel. All right. We can talk shit about him. He can't hear us. Fuck you, Richard. Go fuck yourself. This guy's an asshole.
10 pillows? Hold on. I can almost hear you again. All right.
Man, that's a cool ass towel.
You made me feel poor with that pleb towel. So that situation.
I have that robe too, bro. I have the robe too. I want to get the red one.
Does it say Richard on the back though?
No. Does that one?
Dude, what? How long do I got to stand?
Bend over a little bit. Okay, that's cool. All right. You know what bothers me about robes though? That one too is at least for me, the belt loop is too high, and I feel like it's always like that with most robes.
You can move it. Just move it.
Nah, bro, because most of them have little slits. Like they have slits sewn in the sides of the robe, and so it's like right under my chest, but I want it lower. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so that's a cool towel.
These are first world problems. This is serious first world problems.
Yeah,
so the interview guy, the documentary dude. So I had to meet them, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll meet you in Estonia. Went there. I didn't want to buy a car, but we didn't have any content. It was like a rainy, like dead day. There's nothing to do. So we're like, what can we do? Well, it's like indoors. I don't know. We go shoot guns, buy a Ferrari, I guess.
Yeah.
Buy a Ferrari. And I'm like, all right, well now I got this Ferrari. What am I gonna do with it? Guess I'll go on a Europe tour. start driving it around, you know, spend like 4 months driving it. I put a lot of miles on it. A lot
How
of
many?
miles. I think I got the car with like, I think I put 12,000 miles on it.
Wow.
Not miles, kilometers. I think I put 12,000 kilometers on it.
That's awesome. How does
I
it feel?
think.
Feels good. I'm a Ferrari guy myself.
I got an SF90 too. I just bought that, but like, I didn't really mention it to too many people yet because I'd like to take photos with it, but you know.
I think Ferraris
we're
are
not
the
near
best.
each other currently.
I like from the way they look to everything. I think Lamborghinis are try hard. I think well, I don't want to go into. I don't want to be talking shit about anything. But all right, so
you can't see out of it. Like when you get in an Aventador, you can't see out the window. You're like, yeah, this is very hard to drive. There's no visibility. You know?
Their interior turns to like sticky rubber liquid after a certain amount of years, and
Ferraris used to do that too.
Well, dude, these Raris nowadays are built like Hondas. I'm sure yours came with the 7-year warranty. You know,
check.
It did. Your Ferrari came with a 7-year warranty. Your Ferrari's built like a Honda, bro.
The SF90's got 1,000 horsepower. Man. It's the quickest Ferrari they've ever made. It's faster than LaFerrari. It's faster than what's the other one that's like the best Ferraris or whatever. Like it's the quickest Ferrari that's ever been around their track. It also set like records everywhere.
The SF, is that half electric or?
It's not really half electric. It's only got about, I think, 220 or 240 horsepower.
For anyone who
electric.
doesn't know this, this is a sick ass Ferrari. I'm showing everyone on the stream. The SF90. That's a beautiful car, man. That's a beautiful car. It's a little weird on the front with the headlights and shit, but everything else.
It is a little weird in the front. The back looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I love.
It's weird when you look into the engine cover. The engine is like swallowed down at the very bottom of it. Like it's weird. You're like,
beautiful
why?
car. That's
Never
awesome.
seen an engine so low to the ground.
Damn, I didn't know you got one of those. That's awesome, dude. Good for you. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no space. There's no like trunk. There's no the front trunk thing. So there's no engines in the back. So there's no rear trunk. Yeah. And the front trunk has space for maybe like
grocery bag,
a McDonald's bag.
Yeah,
maybe if you flatten it, like it's not.
Yeah, your dinner to go bag
would fit in there, maybe.
Yeah, like when me and my girl go out to dinner or something, a steakhouse or something, we always, well, I'll take it to go just so we can pop the hood and put it in there and look like.
That's about it. Yeah.
So, all right, you did the tour.
Your Ferrari did too, huh?
Yeah, well, like ever since I was young, like I always knew I was destined to have a Ferrari.
Right.
And so, yeah, long story short, I'm thankful that
did it come with the pussy magnet?
Well, I mean, it is a pussy magnet. That's for damn sure. It's not just a pussy magnet. It's a police repulsor too. I got the anti-radar shit, scramblers all over it. It fucking scrambles any motherfucker that tries to radar and shit. It spits back numbers and shit. It's got like it's like a UFO where it creates this gravitational field around it. So it feels like I'm not moving, but it's going hella fast.
Nice,
yeah, I love it, man. There's nothing like it. It's turbo too, so it's there's nothing like it, man. It's modded to hell. It's a Novitec, so it's one of 11 that's done. It's just the most beautiful car I've ever seen, and yeah, man.
What model is it? Like what's the body style?
It's a 488 done by Novitec. So it's called a N-Largo. It's a 488 Novitec N-Largo. It's got a bunch of shit.
Are you mad that producer Michael has one of those too?
No, I saw I've because there's only so each one's different. Different. Like they all have a little something different, a little unique. Like part of the body's a little different, and I don't really care who else owns it. Producer, there's always gonna be some asshole who has
all my watches too. So.
That's the curly.
He's got your car and all my watches.
Yeah, fair enough. Probably a couple extra. Probably some ex-girlfriend or something. Or he's probably gay. Anyways, so
so I just traveled, man, because like the documentary required it of me. So like then they wanted to shoot us racing in the mountains in Marbella, and we're like, okay. So then, took a private jet, had the cars trucked down there, like, you know, and just, I mean, it's crazy. Like, Marbella is right next to Africa. So, like, the Strait of Gibraltar and, like, you can see Africa from Spain. It's funny. It's like the absolute bottom of Europe.
Yeah.
You can't get farther south in Europe.
All right. So
that's why like Putin had a house there, I think, and then
Putin
I don't know, probably doesn't now. Yeah. He apparently had a house there.
Yeah, all those yachts, all the Russian oligarch yachts are turning off their blips and going out to islands and shit.
Yeah, and then America is like trying to call in the pirates.
Like,
yeah,
man, that's fucked up.
Can you imagine, dude? You're at a Russian yacht, like just working on like the engine room, you know?
Yeah.
And now America has called the pirates on you.
Yeah. And they're all there's a couple islands they're all going to, and so they're all like huddling together with their little private militaries, and like hopefully they can last, like, because they're getting their shit confiscated, man. And you know.
Yeah.
So all right, enough about
I like
the TV.
Your chat. Your chat is like, I bet he's a crap driver. Hey man, if you want to see me crap drive some F1 race cars, just go on my Twitter. There's a clip there. So I'm crap driving F1. What are you crap driving?
Man, let these dudes talk shit, bro. They never, man. They and you know, okay, dude. You know what kind of pisses me off? I'm not trying to hate, but
everything.
I used to think Mustang people were fucking annoying because every asshole, no matter how old, shitty, or terrific the Mustang is, they want to race. Now it's fucking Teslas. Every fucking mother swinging dick or whose brother has a Tesla goes, hey, man, my brother has a Tesla. I'm like, that's cool, bro. Great, dude. You're gonna crash your fucking shit if you try. I'll smoke you, motherfucker. I'd smoke you.
The Plaid smokes everything. The Plaid smokes the SF90 by 0.2 seconds in the quarter every time. So in the quarter, the Plaid does 9.4, and the SF90 does 9.6.
Straight line's one thing, bro, but being able to actually use your car in turn and do other shit is another, especially motherfuckers behind the damn wheel. Anyways, you know, whatever. So
how are you liking the Hex price? It's up like 50% in the last few days. I like that.
Well, it's actually I have the Hex chart pulled up, and I will say this, that
you're afraid of the log button. I see you don't like log.
No, I do. God forbid if I have a chart that doesn't have hike and issues or one thing, it's I don't do this. No, I have log and non-log, bro. I use both. What I will say is I have this time frame pulled up here. This is the 8-hour, 6-hour, 12-hour. Hex actually looks good right now. Money's been coming in. It's just crossing over into the green, and so it should have a little bit of upward movement to it. And it looks there's better curvature than
you should
before.
Draw more crap on your chart, bro. I can still kind of see the price.
This is just a fuck. What did you call it? This is a simplified RSI. This is my RSI. This is my RSI indicator, bro. Okay, all this shit here. Okay, bro.
Is that your multi-time frame RSI?
Yeah, bro. It's fucking sure.
Where's your Mulkin? Your MFI?
Bro, this is my money flow. Bro, we're not here to talk about my indicator, bro. Listen, I don't want to bring you into a debate where you lose, bro. I'm not here to try to predict to go against you, bro. This is my this is my money flow, bro.
Everything's going up. Yeah, okay.
Well, listen, bro. I've been a I guess you could say a bear just like you. I called the top. I called the top too. In fact, 2 years ago, bro. Numerous occasions. Listen to this, bro. Listen to this. Okay.
What?
2 years ago, when the price was $8,000, I said,
you called the top at 8,000? Shit.
No, I said, when people ask me, when do you think it could be 50K? I said, April, May 2022, Bitcoin 40, 45,000. This is before any of that shit happened numerous times. So I fucking nailed the price damn near perfectly in a week from now, 2 years ago, but I ain't here to taunt my own horn. Bro, what's going on with Pulse?
I called 60K like 2 years earlier in Malta before the halvening.
You said it was in Monte Cristo last time. I think you're lying.
Did I?
I'm just kidding,
Malta.
bro.
It's a record. It's a YouTube, man.
Listen, I'm not here to toot my horn or your horn, Richard.
Oh, hey. So your chat says turn Richard. I discovered that if you change the volume on your computer, it changes my capture volume on your end.
I'm turning you up.
Used to not be that way.
Okay.
It used to be you could just change it, like your volume didn't change what you're recording.
Dude,
volume,
I don't
but in
think so.
Hobbs, like,
I don't
it
think
does
so,
now.
but I am turning you up here. And so
It'll change. You'll see it in the meter. You'll see me peaking more.
yeah, so I
If you're
turned
using
your shit
OBS.
up. Everyone should be hearing you just fucking fine. But let me double check here. Zoom meeting, boom. I'm cranking you all the way up.
Have you tried the new testnet? It's so sick. It's like
No.
it's very good.
So this is Richard, bro. I the last thing I did with Pulse was sacrifice with Pulse,
Yeah.
and I sacked a little bit with Pulse X. Now I know
Okay.
Pulse X is supposed to be like the the swap thing, and Pulse.
It's a little bit different than Uni. So like,
I'm sure
with
it is.
Uniswap, they duct tape the token on, and it has no relationship to the project at all. So Uniswap existed and functioned and worked great, and they're like, hey, let's duct tape the token on here and pretend it has some relevance. And then they duct taped it on. Price went worth billions of dollars. But there's no actual relationship. You use Uniswap, you don't use Uniswap, you're never going to touch the Uni token. They're not related. They don't have anything to do with each other.
I was just
other
trying
than
to
the
give an
name.
example of like something that it would be. It's
But
just a swap.
But in our
thing.
thing, they're related. So in our thing, 22% of the fees goes to buying and burning the token, and the token doesn't inflate, it only deflates. So direct relation. As the exchange is used, the price goes up because part of the fees buys and burns the coins. Hey, actual utility. What do you know?
Okay,
Pretty
so
rare in crypto.
I want to try to take a step back, bro, because I kind of want a little bit of organization to this. So number one with Pulse, the kind of like the biggest question someone wrote in my Discord, like ETH 2.0 is coming out, right? And so if Pulse is and I'm paraphrasing here, copy and paste ETH, but I imagine obviously you're doing things to make it better, faster, or cheaper. Can you try to explain maybe what you're doing, where it's at, and why it's going to be better than ETH and or ETH 2.0?
Yep. Go to pulsechain.com, copy paste the URL into your MetaMask network settings, and go test it. And you'll see that the transactions are 4 times faster. They're also free. Now try and use that on Ethereum.
Is it only like that right now because no one else is using it? Is it going to be the same?
Because it's a testnet. Yeah. But I mean, we've had 1.2 billion transactions on testnet on the V2 one before this one. We're on V2B now. And people were really using it, like a lot. So it's faster, better for the environment. And when ETH 2.0 comes out, aren't you going to love your free new coins they're giving you? No, you're not, because they're not giving you any free new coins. They're not giving you anything. And aren't you going to love the cheaper fees? No, you're not, because it's not going to lower fees.
It's not.
So no. Why?
So
why
what
do you
is
think it's
ETH
going to lower the
2.0?
fees?
Because I don't know.
Do you think ETH 2.0 is going to lower the demand or increase the supply? No,
I don't know.
It doesn't affect those things.
What does it affect?
It just changes the consensus method. Like they're trying to get rid of the proof of work, which is good, right? That's what Pulse Chain does as well. You get rid of here's the other thing. So will Ethereum continue to inflate? Yes. Does Pulse Chain inflate? No, it only deflates. So 25% of transaction fees in Pulse get burnt.
What do you mean?
Ethereum still has issuance.
Okay, so when
Ethereum
you say
still
Pulse
inflates.
only deflates, are you talking about
there's
price?
Never a new Pulse?
Or no,
the supply of Pulse never increases.
Okay.
There are no rewards paid to validators in the form of a block subsidy, in the form of inflation.
So there's a set amount of Pulse, and over time
it only goes down.
Some of it gets burnt, and that's part of the verification process.
25% of all the fees get burnt. So when you pay your gas, 25% of that gets burnt. Supply just keeps going down. So both Pulse Chain and Pulse X are deflationary. Never a new coin is minted. They're only burnt.
Okay.
So there's similar burn percentages as well. So it's about 22% burn on Pulse X and it's 25% on Pulse Chain.
So how does the
also, since we're comparing, so Pulse Chain versus current Ethereum saves the environment, higher throughput, lower cost, world's largest airdrop. You get a copy of all your coins on a new network for free without having to do anything. No sign up. You just change one setting in your MetaMask.
Are you going to be providing liquidity to those new pairs? That's a question I wanted to ask you.
Oh, let me tell you what I'm doing with my money, Mr. Cryptoface.
I didn't want to be prying into your biz, but I'm wondering is if there's going to be fucking, you know, free market, if there's going to be something. I guess not. Next question. I don't care if you don't want to answer.
Well, I don't know, man. Like how's Hex doing? So go look at who's providing liquidity in Hex. It's just normal ass people. Like this, it's all normal people.
Okay. I have another question, bro.
Well, hold on. We never finished like the ETH versus Pulse Chain.
Okay.
I can finish it, but
Please
you ask your thing. I don't want you to lose your thing. You lose it already?
No, but I didn't want to bring us off topic. But I'll ask.
Well, let's finish the Pulse Chain versus Ethereum thing.
Go ahead. Okay.
So when Ethereum 2.0 comes out, you're not getting cheaper fees, and you're not getting any free coins, and you're not like, sorry, it's not happening.
So all they want to do is just change it to proof of work.
It's always delayed. Well, Ethereum's changing to proof of. Oh, by the way, their system sucks too. So Ethereum's system is you have to give 32 Ethereum to somebody to be a validator on your behalf and hope they don't screw up or you lose money. So you have to lose your coins. You have to lose your keys. That sucks. And people have already lost money that way. So already $100 million was lost to people handing over their keys to other people to try and do the ETH 2.0 thing for them. Our system's superior. Our system rewards decentralization. You don't have to have 32 Ethereum to be a participant. You can just delegate your stake to somebody else, hold your own keys, and not worry about being a network administrator or having 32 Ethereum or anything like that. So their system incentivizes centralization. Our system incentivizes decentralization.
Okay.
So it's just a better design system with the world's largest airdrop, with higher throughput, lower fees. We are going to get to market before them.
Did you say you're going to get to the market before ETH 2.0?
Yeah, I believe so.
You think?
I mean, everything's basically done. I mean, what's left? Like, everything works, right? Bridge works, PulseX exchange works, consensus network works and has worked for months. The only thing that's missing is like the automated market maker bot, which harvests the PRC20 copies out of the AMMs and puts them in the PulseX system. That's halfway, so it supports all the V2 Uniswaps. I'd like it to be able to support Uniswap V3 and maybe Bancor, Balancer, 0x if possible. But if it can't, we'll just go anyway, and then the ARB guys will be able to make some money.
Yeah,
sucks, but oh well, But like, there's really so the only two things that are left are the automated market maker bot. If we can make it run against more stuff, cool. If not, we'll just run it where it's at, which is like half of the liquidity, I think. That one's complicated, but it's not. We could just do it the way it is. Like we don't have to add to it
with the market maker bot.
Yeah, because what happens is the first transaction on the network is that the automated market price fixer bot goes and buys up the prices of all the PRC20s, removing them from those liquidity providers and giving them a small amount of PLS in return. However, if you can't run that bot against all the different liquidity pools, then you're going to have pools that are cheap compared to the ones you just drove the price up on. Then someone's going to be able to arb those differences and basically make free money. So you'll be able to sell down the expensive pair that the ARB that the AMM bought up, and then buy back your supply from the cheap pair. So I would prefer it to run across as much of the liquidity as I can, but I don't want to delay getting to market for it. I think getting to market earlier is more important than running the AMM bot across every available liquidity pool. And so in the end, what you end up with is the AMM bot has a ton of PRC20s it's harvested from all of the existing AMM systems. I mean, some of them are not exactly. I guess they're all kind of AMMs. I mean, 0x isn't really an AMM. It's just a place where you can store liquidity.
All right.
That one's a little bit harder because it's off chain. So I don't think the devs have even tried to test against it. And I'm not even sure how much liquidity is there. Like I'm talking about it, but there may only be like 1% of total liquidity in that system. Might not even be worth talking about.
All right.
So yeah, that's what makes PulseX the most liquid exchange on the Pulse chain, because it's harvested all those PRC20s and stuck them in there. And it's kind of neat for PLSX holders because they make money on fees and people want to trade in the most liquid exchange. So I think it's going to be really cool.
Okay. So that's
it's really the sacrifice balances and the AMM bot, it's all that's left. Everything else is done.
All right.
I mean, go use the testnet. Go try it.
So if
you
I want to go use
all of your ERC20s are sitting there waiting for you.
Okay.
If you got Hex, you get copies of your Hex there.
So the Zcash I sent, that was my question. Like when the original Pulse sacrifice, I sent all kinds of shit. Zcash, which isn't a part of PRC,
because there's nothing else you can do with it. Yeah,
that's not true.
Yeah, fucking Zcash.
I just believed. I believe.
It's like I think it's the worst.
Bro, don't hate on Zcash, bro. What are you talking about?
Crap.
Zcash was the shit, bro. Everyone was dude. Zcash was the dark horse, dude. Come on, man.
How many years has it been making new lows? It just only makes new lows. Let me go look.
Yeah, tell me what crypto does it, bro. What crypto have been making?
all the other ones.
Dude, Zcash been doing good, bro. Zcash was the man. Dude, Zcash been doing just fine, bro. Okay.
All right, I'm checking it.
Yeah,
it went up.
Yeah, what do you know about that?
It went up. Nice.
What do you know about that? Old face knows that thing or two. Huh?
I didn't know they were still in business.
So, dude, it's not as popular as before, dude. See, it's but dude, the whole privacy thing's kind of coming back. The Russian oligarch yachts are disappearing and scared.
Do they have more than 6% shielded now?
I don't know, dude. I'm not. Listen, I'm not that guy. Okay,
only
Richard,
6%.
I'm not that guy to bounce
these
fancy lingua blockchain terms. I'm just a dirty, rotten retail trader. Okay.
That was the funny thing. Like people don't realize, Zcash was a fork of Bitcoin that no one used the anonymity feature. Only 6% of their stuff was actually shielded, meaning anonymous.
Bro, no one used because the main utility for crypto for everyone was just to make money, bro. Like the only people using private shit were people doing shit that they really wanted to keep private, but the majority of people just wanted to buy something that would go up higher in price.
Well, I don't know. That sounds kind of smart. That seems like a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not. What do you think I'm doing here, bro? I'm not hating on that.
True.
Okay, so we got some juicy bits. I liked kind of what you said about you think you'll be out before. I believe ETH said, or someone said in the chat.
So we're gonna be. Look, man, these guys delay things. Everybody that makes software delays it, of course, because you don't have a choice but to delay it, because you can't make an accurate estimate, because you don't know, you have unknown unknowns. You don't meet until later. You cannot accurately predict when software is going to be finished.
I understand.
Which is why no one does. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ethereum was extremely late on basically all the things they're trying to do. And even if we didn't beat them to market, who cares? Are their fees still too high? Yes. Are they giving you the world's largest airdrop? No. Okay. Do they still mint new coins? Does it still inflate? Yes. Now you could say, oh, but EIP 1559 will cancel that out. Like, okay.
Those were the next words out of my mouth.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it will, but we don't we don't have to hope that this stuff burns. Ours just burns. Ours isn't maybe deflationary. Ours is 100%
who's verifying? And forgive me if you so who's how do I become? How do I
a validator?
How do I profit off of validating transactions? Just me. I have my Pulse. I got a little something. I want to make some money off the transactions with my shitter computer.
Oh, dude. Well, you just delegate your stake to somebody else.
To a pool?
Because otherwise you have a network admin job. And if you screw up, you lose money.
Doing what? Can you explain
Being a validator.
So there's just going to a pool is the answer.
Well, you don't even have to go into a pool. I mean, it's built into the system. So we fixed so many things that people don't understand how fixed they are. Like your brain thinks, now I need to join a pool and
That's right.
interface
That's
with
what.
other people
That's
and
why
all
you're
that
here. That's
crap.
why I need you to break
You
it
don't
down
have
to a
to do that.
simpleton.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. Like
Okay.
it's already built into the system that you can just delegate your stake to some other validator. There's a list of the validators. I mean, you can just go look. Like we have a screen.
Who are the validators? Who are these people?
Well, we don't know. It's open source network, right? Like it's whoever wants to join.
So is there some guy somewhere in the world that
there's people want you to delegate your stake to them so that they can become a validator, because you've got to outrank other people because there's only 33 slots. So people want to be in that list of 33 people. And so there are a lot of validators that will tell you who they are. Like David Feeder, Zaxkin, he's a validator.
There's only 33 validators.
Yeah. Right.
And there's only going to be 33 validators?
There probably should be less, but the number makes us look cooler.
For
because
all
people
of
are
Pulse?
stupid and just
is that what we're talking about
better.
here? There's only 33, like...
Yes. Correct.
How come? How come it's limited?
As you increase the size of the validator set, you reduce the average experience of the user because they run into smaller and crappier server setups. If you restrict the size of the validation set to be smaller and smaller, then you increase the average experience that a user has because you're using the best, fastest, most well-maintained server connections and servers. So there is no advantage to increasing the size of the validator set unless you are facing an unprecedented and weird censorship attack.
So what power do these validators have? Like, let's say I delegate some Pulse to Peter Johnson, whatever the guy's name you just said. What risk is that for me, and how can he fuck me?
Well, I mean, he shares with you his earnings, but if he doesn't have earnings because the server goes offline, then you're not going to have earnings. You can't lose. You can't actually lose. You can only not win if he just stops doing his job right. But that's the whole idea. Like then you go and delegate your stake to somebody else that doesn't suck.
And would I be able to pull my delegation out freely?
Yeah, so you don't really have any
locked.
Risk. Yep. Nope.
And he doesn't have like control of. He wouldn't have control. Correct?
No.
It's just
you have your own keys. No one. He can't take your money from you. He can just do a bad job validating and not pay you extra.
What separates someone from doing a good job and a bad job validating?
Well, is your server up? Does it have good connectivity? Is it laggy? Is it slow? Does it perform a lot of validations and therefore earn a lot of fees?
So if let's say Pulse goes mainstream, and is like as popular as Solano or some top token or something.
Yeah.
Will those 33 ever increase to have more validators, or is that permanent?
No, you don't get anything out of that. Like 33 is we should probably have less, but it just sounds cooler to noobs to have more. Like I can tell your brain wants there to be more. Like in your brain, you think more is better.
Well, no, that's not. I'm not saying that. Like I can understand I'm being objective here, and remember, like this is not my specialty, bro. So I really don't have like an opinion on that being good or bad. I could see how like having too little could be centralized.
Your transaction in a block, man.
Yeah,
that's all they do.
I understand. Like there's only a certain amount that you need, and if those guys can get the job done, it gets the job done. It gets the job done. Like, and if they can't fuck it, then I don't care if it works. It's great, and it's great. Like, it's not this. It's people
we have
that
a lot
break
of other
things.
systems that work fine with like 21 validators.
Like who? Do you mind?
21,
Do you
EOS
know of
has
any?
21.
Like, is there any other?
Yeah, BSC and EOS, I believe, both have 21 validators, and they work.
Really?
Yeah. So
okay.
And look, all these proof of stake systems. There's really no advantage to having more unless you're running into weird censorship, and then you can increase the number. I can make that number whatever the fuck I want. I can set that number to whatever I want because we're in like testnet days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like you could do the same thing for mainnet, but why? Like you're just going to reduce the average experience people have because they're going to run into bad servers.
Yeah, I think I understand that point.
Like,
I think I understand that point. Like if you have that'd be enough. I guess like the only and it's probably enough to cover the concern of if someone gets their doors kicked in they're in Georgia.
Then you just if everyone's doors get kicked in, then you just have different validators.
Someone else comes up and takes the job. So how do I fight? How do I fight Peter McCormick to take his validation job? If I want to be one of them 30,
you just get more stake. You just have to get more stake delegated to you. Either give your own stake or have others give you more stake.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like it's not that hard.
All right.
Bro, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. All right.
Yeah, let me go take a leak. Let's take a quick intermission. I got some nice music
BRB.
on, so let me put everything on mute here. I'll be right back, folks. Okay. All right. Am I doing a good job? I'm doing the best I can. You know what I'm saying? To try to like understand things. I feel like we've gotten a few things out of them. I feel like I've learned a few things. The music absolutely helps. What else do we want to know?
I'm back.
All right, cool. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, that was a good little tit for tat there. I feel
timing.
Huh?
Good timing, bro.
Yeah. So, okay. I have a question here. Somebody wrote. And I'll open it like this. Richard, you're a man who's doing things and done things that 1 out of a million, 1 out of a billion. would have done. You've done your donation to help to raise $27 million to Sens Foundation. Somebody asked if I could ask you if you had any thoughts on potentially building a true decentralized wallet like MetaMask, because MetaMask, didn't they turn off some assholes in a country and it's centralized and everyone's mad a month ago? You remember that?
I mean, I'm hiring people to do it, but I don't know about all this decentralized shit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
the
people are so
government's
fucking
powerful
stupid.
shit. If you got the
So,
FBI
like,
up your ass, I understand.
Well, no, it's just like I have to come up with analogies to explain this to people. Having like extra door locks on your door doesn't help if you have a big ass window right next to your door. Having extra decentralization preemptively and worse user experiences is unnecessary when you can have just in time. So you like just in time inventory means like we don't need it just sitting there. We have as much as we need when we need it. We have inventory just in time, which is great when you don't have like hiccups in the supply chain. Well, that also works great for censorship resistance. So as long as you have something to fold over to, so it's like, oh, Infura is censoring Venezuela. Okay, well, go to your MetaMask, click add network. It's right there. Click network, click add, click custom. And then there's a list of like 10 other nodes that you can just paste in there and it works. So as long as you have the ability to fall over to something else that is good, you don't need to preemptively use some weird other thing and then discover like, oh, it was buggy. Oh, it was hacked. Oh,
Yeah.
Because it lowers your average user experience. So like, I'm a very firm believer in no admin keys and decentralization where it is effective, where you can have it. And so like, I would rather use MetaMask, which everyone else is using. And therefore like I'm not going to run into weird edge case problems of,
Correct.
Oh, look, the site's just down.
Right.
Oh, the wallet developer just turned it off. How do I get my keys out of this crap? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm building my own, and I'm sure like everything else I've built, it'll be awesome.
Right.
But I'm not focused on like
no promises, and
it's like the wallet everyone's using now. It did two things. It did. Yes, mine will be better, but MetaMask isn't that bad. It's okay,
We're putting that in the thumbnail. MetaMask isn't that bad. Richard Hart fucking batting down the hatches.
It's not that bad.
So the whole not your keys thing. So if I'm assuming this correctly, right? So if I want to get some of that fee money and I allocate it.
Oh, you got a ton of options for yield, bro. Oh, your mind is gonna be blown at this part. Okay, you want to make some yield?
Blow me away.
Prepare, batten down the hatches, sir.
All right.
You can stake Hex. You can stake Hex on the Ethereum network. You can stake Hex on the Pulse chain network. You can be a liquidity provider on the Ethereum network. You can be a liquidity provider on the Pulse chain network. You can be a liquidity provider in Pulse X. You can provide liquidity on Hex, eHex from the Ethereum chain bridged in, Pulse, PRT, Pulse X rewards token.
So when you say provide liquidity, do you mean that I'm going to be the guy that posts the Zcash pair and then gets dumped on because the Zcash in the beginning probably going to get fucked in the beginning?
There's not going to be Zcash pair. I mean, the stuff that you can bridge in from other EVM chains, that will be pairs.
Okay, so another ERC20 token. So when you say I can be a liquidity provider,
there's so many.
What
this is a
what
long
would you
list.
what do you think? I know there's a many, but what do you think would be like? I guess you could say the best ones.
Let's go through the list. Let's go through the list.
All right, I got.
You can just stake your Pulse natively. You can just stake your Pulse natively, and delegate it. So delegating your stake to somebody else is like staking, right? You get rewarded for that. You get a percentage of their fees that they make. Unless you set it to 0. I guess they don't have to share anything with you, but then you probably would delegate to someone that would. So you can stake your Pulse. You can stake your Hex on 2 different networks. You can own PLSX, and it gets 22% buy and burn. You can just hold your PLS. It gets a 25% burn. You can deposit. You could deposit your Ethereum. You could bridge in your Ethereum Hex and pair it with your Pulse chain Hex, which is we're just going to call Hex. So you can take your eHex and your Hex and pair those together and earn yield in Pulse Hex. And you'll also get PRT reward tokens as well. Dude, there's like so much. This is an unbelievable amount of places that you could stick your money in the system.
What about a stable coin, a stable dollar or whatever called yuan, a stable yuan, stable dollar? Is that something that you're gonna like rely on the publics maybe to manufacture, or is there some type of stable? If we're talking about Tether, it's the ERC. Is there a stable? Is there a Pulse Tether ERC20 and TRC20 on there too?
Well, there's bridged in ones.
What is the difference? I don't know what does
bridged
that mean?
in one you can redeem for real money. So if you have a Tether, you can send it to the Tether company and they'll turn it into real money for you. Or if you have a USDC, you can send it to the USDC company and they'll turn it to real money for you. But the copies that you're getting for free on the Pulse chain, you're not going to be able to redeem for anything. But I also don't think they're going to go to 0 unless the people that issued them use their admin keys to steal everyone's money. And then probably people aren't going to be very happy about that. So yeah, I mean, I have no idea what the value of a stablecoin copy on Pulse chain is going to be.
Because those will be there. If there's going to be copies of every ERC20 thing, there's going to be copies of the ERC Tether.
Nobody knows what value they'll have yet.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Like when we were on around the blockchain, that's when I said like it's going to be a war in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the amount of arbitrage opportunities is going to be pretty wild because I know for a fact that AMM bot's not going to be able to hit everything. So there's going to be price differences for sure at launch. And someone's just going to make that free money. It's basically free. And then who knows which tokens are going to go up the most.
So what's financing the AMM bot? Is that going to be?
It just mints its own Pulse to do what it needs to do. It doesn't, because only roughly like 6% of Ethereum is wrapped. You can use that as a proxy for how much Ethereum is in DeFi, because there's no other reason to wrap your Ethereum other than to use it in DeFi. So, and since prices in those X times Y equals K automated market maker systems like Uniswap v2 function as a square, you only need to have a square root of the supply increase in order to move the price. So like if you 10x the one side, you 100x the price. If you 100x one side, you 10,000x the price. And so like basically we should need less than, my original estimate was like 5%, but it should be, I think, like 2.25%. It should be like the square root of 5. Is all the supply that we would need to mint for the AMM to do its job. So that's what they're doing now, like in private testnet, is just trying different strategies with the AMM.
Okay.
Because you don't want the AMM to get gamed, right? Like, oh look, the AMM just bought a bunch of crap.
Yeah, and then that
hey, look, you can't even sell this crap. Cool.
That's like where where my question comes from is like yeah. So but I don't know.
It's better even if it happens, like even if the AMM bought crap and then added the crap to PLSX exchange and then no one could ever trade it, it's still worth it just to get the market quicker. But I don't think it's gonna buy crap. Like we're not dumb, like we know what the games that people are going to try and play are. So
yeah, I mean, it's a big fucking world. When you're talking about copy and having a copy of everything out there, that's That's big, and that's going to take a lot. That's a lot of money. And not everyone has to succeed. There can be 3 copy coins that are fine, and who cares about some shitter sheeped unique Rogan token that doesn't have the equal value that someone's going to get screwed on. So,
Well,
I guess,
mean, how does anyone lose? Like, hey guys, all of your keys work on all of your coins on a new network, and it's just free money. It's the biggest amount of free money you ever seen in your life. No one's ever received. There's never been a larger airdrop in the history.
But you know what happens with that? It's kind of like what happened with Costa, for example. When you give out a bunch of free tokens to everyone at the beginning, they sell it and it crashes really. It's the same thing with like IPOs with in the private sector. Like in the beginning, that shit crashes really hard. People get mad. They call it a scam, and then eventually it's like, how long does it take for that price to come back up?
I don't believe this narrative, bro. I don't believe that narrative.
What narrative? That the more free shit you give, that it don't sell hard in the beginning?
Well, remember like Uni, the duct taped on piece of trash?
No,
Still worth billions of dollars. It was free. It was literally given out for free.
Yeah, but
still worth billions of dollars.
But how, like, not like, how
I
many
could go through
people?
this list of like, I could go through this list of coins that were given away for free that are worth billions of dollars. 1inch, Gitcoin, Uni.
Yeah, but how many people were given that? How many people took advantage of it? You know what I'm saying? I feel like Pulse is really big, bro. Like Hex kicked off. Everyone who got in Hex early, obviously kicked ass. It's like the second time around is different, man, because everyone, the cat's out of the bag. Cat's out of the bag.
I agree with some of what you're saying. I'm just adding nuance to it. I agree with all of what you're saying, but I have to add nuance to it. Giving people free money can only benefit those people, period. Particularly if you're giving it to them at a 0 cost basis and it's just appreciating afterwards at a capital gains rate. Amazing. Beautiful system.
But what about the people that sacrificed and paid? Then that tanks the price.
Nobody's getting any free coins for those guys. See, this is the part you're mixing up.
All
okay.
Right.
Who's getting free ass Pulse?
I don't know.
Vitalik is getting $30 worth of Pulse. His 300,000 Ethereum is getting him $30 worth of Pulse, because the Ethereum guys are getting diluted 1 million-fold, 1.2 million-fold actually. So this idea that when you give people free shit, it goes down in price. Hey, guess what? If you're right, I got good news for you. Nobody's getting no free fucking Pulse. They're getting a bunch of other free shit that people didn't sacrifice for.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're not giving the Pulse for you. It's the copies you're talking about. For that's okay. So you're talking about the biggest airdrop, bro. You're not talking about. You're talking about the fucking copies of the coin.
Yes.
Of the Trump, whatever shit
no one's
coin on the
any
ERC20.
Like,
all right.
I mean, like it's
thank God.
It's all free. It's all free. Like everyone's getting it for free, but only the people that sacrificed are getting it for free.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody else is getting it. Like Vitalik's getting $30. Because if you give people free shit, they can sell it. So like, but in the end, even after that happens, the fucking thing is still worth billions and billions of dollars. So, airdrops are awesome. World's largest airdrop is awesome.
See what you mean. Now I understand the free biggest airdrop thing, but now I get you're talking about all the copies of the tokens. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not like, if you didn't sacrifice, you ain't getting no PulseX, man. Nobody's getting PulseX unless you sacrifice. Nobody. Like, I mean, I guess the website says there's a 1%. Somebody has 1%. They can do whatever they want with it.
Motherfuckers in the chat, listen, I have a million things going on. Okay. I don't sit in front of my computer studying everything. I have millions of businesses and I'm an important man. Okay. And I don't spend, and half you fuckers that talk about it are terribly difficult to listen to. And I admit it all the time. Like I'm aware of what I don't know, and that's why I have him on here. So this is for me. Okay. I'm having him here for me. Okay. You're like, if you want to be here, you can go. It's an open door policy. So
like PulseX, bro. Nobody's like, okay, everyone's getting PulseX for free, but only if you sacrificed. And if you didn't sacrifice, like, you ain't getting none. Now all the other coins, right? Like, hey, you got Hex, you're getting free Hex, free copy. Enjoy, you know. You got Ethereum, you're getting free copy of Pulse, but you're diluted 1.2 million fold. So you have 1.2 million times less percentage of the network than you used to have on Ethereum. It's basically like dust. Like you're getting, but that dust is enough to transact, which is important because we want to relieve the load on the Ethereum network by removing its users, putting them over here.
Yes. So, all right. So let me get this.
I love that frame, dude.
I know.
We're helping Ethereum by getting their users to come this place. I love it, but it's true. That's the only way you're going to get the fees down. So it's just so funny to me. Like, do you want Ethereum fees to be lower? Yes. Okay. We're like the only solution to that. We're going to remove load from their network. We're going to make the fees lower. We're going to make Ethereum better. Like I just saw a headline, Vitalik today was talking about how the fees are too high. We're on your team, bro. We're going to give you the world's largest free amount of coins you've ever seen in your entire life. And we're going to reduce the load on your network. Killer. Right. Win-win. We all win.
So I want to like bullet point this. So, okay. And I know we can go on tangents of explaining things because there's always a lot to explain. So the difference between Pulse and ETH, there's the proof of how it's mined or whatever. There's no more. The Pulse doesn't get created. Whatever's there in the beginning is there in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as it being cheaper, if the same amount of people are using Pulse as the same amount of people using Ethereum, right? Why and how is Pulse going to be cheaper? If you can explain it very simply as you can.
Yeah, we have 4 times the throughput minimum because we have 4 times faster blocks. So in Ethereum, you get a block every 13 seconds. And in Pulse, you get a block every 4 seconds. Or 3 seconds. Sorry.
So what if 4 times the amount of people are using Pulse, then ETH, would the price basically be the same and I'd be paying $50 per transaction?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Nope. I mean, fees are going to go up. Like, that's part of life, man.
Yeah.
If you increase the demand for something that has a static supply, the price is going to go up.
So let me ask you this then, because you would probably, I'd imagine you know the answer because I don't. Tron is a lot of people out here, you know, in the West, and white people love talking shit about Tron. But at the end of the day, the big boys, the whales, the exchanges, the businesses use Tethertron because we pay 10 cents for a transaction. So why is Tron able to do it for 10 cents? And there's a lot of people using Tron, may not be known on YouTube. There might be YouTubers talking about it. But how come Tron is so much cheaper than Ethereum? Yet the big boys are using Tron in the behind the scene, the back end.
It's literally supply and demand. There's just less demand. That's it. And if there was more demand, the prices would be the same.
What's the volume done on Tron? So let me go to CoinMarketCap and maybe.
Well, I mean, it doesn't. They're unrelated. So you can increase the volume tons and tons by just trading back and self to yourself over. It's like one transaction. Like that particular. I mean, unless you're trading it for some reason.
Well, I'm just trying to see what amount of Tron is.
There's obviously users
in the
there.
ecosystem.
Tether wouldn't have issued a native token on their network. You know.
Well, I didn't hear what you said.
I think that there's more. There's a lot of USDT on Tron, like a lot.
Yeah, a lot. It's the most. It's anyone that like knows anything or has to. I don't want to say that, but for example, like when I'm paying out like my resellers or employees, there's no way in hell I'm going to be paying $50 for every single time I'm sending. With Tron. I fucking love Tron. And like every exchange, when they withdraw whatever, when they're moving their money, they use Tron Tether. So, but I mean, I can't. It's you know, like I said, I just figured I'd ask you because I thought you'd know better than me on why Tron only costs 10 cents. I don't think that there's.
Well, I mean, look, almost every network is free except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Almost every every single blockchain is like basically free except Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe recently they just started getting fees. Like maybe BSC and Polygon have like fees now.
Okay, so from
and it's supply and demand, man. Like as soon as you get demand, your fees go up. That's it.
well, so I'm looking at the volume. I know it's kind of a fudge number, and it might not be the right number to look at, but Tron has 1/10 basically of the volume as Ethereum, yet the price is, you know, like 1,000x cheaper. So
I think, oh yeah, that math. So I can help you not get wrecked. All of Tether used to operate on the Omni network. The Omni network token does $200 of volume a day total. Yet Tether is worth billions of dollars. And so having something worth billions of dollars run on your network doesn't affect the price of the network.
all right, I'm just gonna shake my head and nod and pretend that I understand.
Tether used to run on Omni only. It didn't used to be an ERC20. It used to only run on the Omni network.
Yeah,
The
Omni's
Omni
just
network
as
is worth nothing.
Omni costs just as much as ETH right now, I believe. Last time I checked, like all the ways you can use Tether. Like there's the I'm pretty sure I'm talking about I'm talking about what I'm talking about. Like there's this Omni
Omni's
Tether,
$3.
$2 to send a transaction.
No, the token Omni is worth $3.
I'm talking about like the fee. I'm talking about how much the fee would be to send a
It
transaction.
used to be worth 180.
Right. I'm just talking. I'm not talking about the price of the token. I'm talking about like how much it would cost to.
No, but you were
send.
looking at like how much people use Tether to try and estimate whether TRX should have a better price. And I'm telling you, just unrelated, totally 100% unrelated, proven by the Omni network being worth nothing, but Tether being worth billions.
All right. Fair enough.
No.
Okay. Well,
because most people would think like, oh, you know, but like you have to use this simple metric. How does this thing affect the supply and demand? You using Tether on that network barely affects the supply and demand of the TRX token at all. Because as you said, you've only got to buy 10 cents of the fucking thing to move $1 billion, cost you 10 cents.
correct.
That means it doesn't drive the token price up.
Because there's like just a shit ton of supply and demand. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
I guess I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I understand a little better. All right. So a lot of shit here. Are you getting tired yet? Are you getting tired of talking to me?
Nope.
I feel like I so far I've learned and gotten a better understanding of
What is this?
Of a good few things.
What in the fuck is this?
What?
Hold on a second. I don't know. I clicked some button and it popped up on a screen. It's like, what? What did this button I click? Lol.
Well, hopefully it's nothing too bad.
Hold on. No, it was a Telegram chat.
Oh man,
I'd never been in a Telegram video chat before. I'm supposed to be on another live stream right now.
Oh, well, fuck those guys. You know what I'm saying? You almost stood me up. We were getting worried over here. I mean,
let me ask these guys what's going on. I think I'm supposed to be on this other show right now, dude.
All right. Well, you know what, dude? I've like ran out of things to ask and say.
All right.
And you know, hopefully we can circle back maybe in a couple months or something, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And do it again. I appreciate you coming on,
Thanks for having me on, bro.
Dude, I really needed it. You know what I'm saying? I don't spend all time on this shit.
Good luck. Good luck figuring out what's going to outpump what. Hex on the Pulse network versus Pulse versus PulseX versus the Pulse rewards token. And where do you stake? Do you stake your Pulse? Like, fuck.
You know, dude, like I sacrificed a lot, man. Like especially in the Pulse, like I'm up there on the boards, bro. I'm up there on the boards. And so you know, hopefully you know, things work out. Number one, hopefully provides the services that you want it to provide, because that's number one, and the price will follow and everything. And you know, you're a good man. You're a good man, doing shit out there that no one else is trying to do. And
Appreciate it, bro.
yeah, bro. So, all right, dude, my fucking
Talk to you
brain's
later, man.
fried, and I'll see you later,
Ciao,
man.
bro.
Thanks for coming on.
Pleasure.
Peace. All right. Oh, yeah, I thought that went pretty well. I had a good time.